feels absolutely amazing. It feels good, I can't lie. But I do think that it is such a powerful tool to have, and to be a little Vietnamese immigrant somewhere who somehow did drag and now amassed this amount of following. I think it's my duty to give back and raise awareness whenever I can, and to show people that drag is powerful and drag is harmless. Oh my gosh. I think I was the first Vietnamese drag queen to be featured on Drag Race. And growing up in the States after moving from Vietnam was a little tough because as immigrants, we're made to assimilate, right? We're made to um, want to feel normal and blend in with the crowd. So for a long time, I wasn't so proud of being Vietnamese because I just wanted to blend in and be normal. So when I realized that the fact that I'm a queer Vietnamese person doing drag is what really makes me powerful, I felt like I had to play catch up. So now I'm doing everything in my power to showcase that I am proudly a immigrant Vietnamese man who is doing drag for a living, and I'll shout it as long as I can. This art form is very, tolling on the body, and also very tolling on the mind as well. You're suddenly, get thrown into this Hollywood fame all of a sudden. So most of us don't know really how to control it. I, for a long time, struggled with it because I grew up a huge, I was a huge people pleaser. And then over the years, I just kind of just learned to unplug and be comfortable with my thoughts and embrace the silence a little bit. I think when everything is silence, that's when you realize what is important in your life. And that's, at the end of the day, just helping others and good relationships with family and friends. Oh, so welcoming. I felt like I was just chatting away. And I was just chatting with a bunch of friends. So it felt amazing. It's hard for me to say no sometimes because I love to work. But whenever I can, I just me and my partner, we just sit still and embrace each other's silence. I'm long overdue for a vacation, so I cannot wait to go to. I actually am doing an Asia tour in Manila, Bangkok, and Singapore in October. So I'm gonna hop my way over to Vietnam afterwards and do a little wellness retreat. Of course, I have to say RuPaul, because of course. But I think my inspiration is mostly my personal relations with a lot of people. I like the way I like the juxtaposition between, seeing people in the limelight and then meeting my friends who are just, normal people and the way they live life. And I think those are my inspirations right now. I would say that you should do drag because you love doing drag. I think drag is definitely a very tolling art form, and it is also a very rewarding art form as well. You should never do drag for the money or for the fame because if you want it, it'll never come. And as long as you love drag and as long as you love the art form itself, everything will work out in your favor. I think that we're all kind of the results of everything around us. And I can just walk down the street and then get inspired by, a plant. And I was like, oh, now I want this silhouette to be a plant. Or, I'm inspired by something that I saw at, the awards or something like that. But everything that I receive, I try to put it in my little brain and then convert it to my plastique way and make it as Asian as possible, make it as queer as possible, and me as possible. So that's pretty much what I do with everything. Drag will remain to be one of the most amazing art form, performance art. It's everything put in together. It's performance art, it's beauty, it's entertainment, it's personal, and you're basically creating an art piece every time you put on your makeup, every time you put an outfit together. You're a walking piece of art. So, and needless to say, it's such a important piece of self-expression, especially for the queer community, because we're so, for a long time, being feminine or femininity was deemed as inferior in this world, and drag throws all of it out the window because now we are being celebrated because we are feminine, we're queer, and we're artistic. So it's very much taking back the power, and I think it's just going to grow bigger and bigger. When I first saw Jujubee on RuPaul's Drag Race, that's when I realized, wow, there is something for me in this world. And being Asian, at first I felt a little, scared for sure because there's not a lot of us. But then I realized it was such a powerful attribute to me because I can just, there's no rules for me. I can just do whatever I feel like I'm doing, and whatever comes to mind, I can just put it out in the world. So I think that being Asian turned into my superpower for sure. I think that because there are so few of us, we all stick together and we all really, really support one another. And each one of us is so different. Like if you can look at a book of all the Asian drag queens who's been on Drag Race, every one of us is different. There's not one where you can be like, oh, she does like a similar thing. We all look amazing. And that's probably the only thing that is similar between all of us. And we all have such a big camaraderie because, we've been through it. This is a very scary experience for an Asian person to be vulnerable on TV, let alone being gay, artistic, and being vulnerable on TV. So I think that makes us very powerful altogether. For a long time, I really wanted to go back to Vietnam and do a lot of charity work there. My grandparents actually go back every year, and when I was little, I would just give like a little bit, so then it would be like $100 to them to go to all the orphanages, just so then they can like get them food, because there's no one there to care for them. The nuns they can only do so much, taking care through donations. So truly, it is our duty to do so. So I really want to organize before I did All Stars, I went back there and I did something, but every year I just want to make it bigger and bigger and bigger. Because my grandma, we would lift like the boxes of milk and stuff and give it to them, and she can't really do it anymore. So I just want her to, be like, I'll take care of it. Ooh, with family values, my journey with my family has always been a difficult one. I was raised very differently to how I became. So for a long time, me and my family didn't speak to each other. And I think for a long time, I would just wanted them so bad to say that they accept me, or like say that they are proud of me and stuff like that. But I realized that like Asian families, we don't say stuff. We don't talk about our feelings a lot. But after a long time, they really showed how they care about me, and they really showed their actions and how they accept me and how they brag about me to like all our families now. And that wouldn't have happened without drag and without Drag Race. So I think happiness in Asian family values comes very unspoken. And if you can feel the love, then because they always want the best for you. It's the greatest advice I've ever had was from my partner, actually. He said, your mom once too was just like you. She was a young woman and living life, and she had you. So she had to figure out ways to juggle all these things, you know? She had me when she was 21. So I'm 27 now. So I'm like, wow, my mom, I would have a 6-year-old kid by now. And I too would not know what to do. And that's an unspoken thing that I realize is that we just have to, you know, it is what it is. And as long as we care for one another, it's all good.